Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life of what we give." Putting this into perspective, it can make you realize the importance of giving back to your community and to people around the world. How many times could you say that you've made a difference in someone's life other than your own? The issue is that there are simply not enough people willing to volunteer. I know people may not have the time with their busy schedules, but I'm going to explain why you should help volunteer. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics, the rate of volunteerism went down 1.1%. Now that may not seem like a lot, but only 24.9% of the U.S. population is willing to volunteer. And this can range from anyone from the ages of 14 to even 54. I'm going to explain how volunteering helps establish relationships, explores career opportunities, and the places you can volunteer. Most people are either an introvert or an extrovert. And one reason for not wanting to volunteer is that you feel uncomfortable or that you're just too shy for your own good. This does tend to happen to people, but when you break out of your comfort zone, you are able to establish new relationships with people. In the article United Way, Janet Mills described that when she formed as a volunteer, the relationships she made had an impact on her life following her husband's death. She quoted, "I feel needed, and they give me a sense of belonging. You get so much more than you put into it." Just like coming to college for the first time, we are bound to make new friends and experience new things with them. Volunteering is the same thing. You can establish relationships with people who you're volunteering with or with the organizational leaders. And this is a picture of my friends and I at Volunteer Tuesday in Montgomery Union. And what we did was, there's different sections you can go to, and we split off into groups and we made cookies for nursing homes while other people would write messages to put in with them. And we also helped make dog tags for the Humane Society. And the nice thing about this is that you're not required to be there, and you can stay as long as you want. In an article written by Chrissy Golden, she became a member of the Alpha Sigma Alpha sorority in college, and she said that she made friends that lasted a lifetime. So I'm sure if any of you are in a fraternity or sorority, I'm sure you guys could all relate. Aaron Moore said that people belonging in a Greek organization are twice as likely to volunteer along with people living on campus. After college, Golden said that she didn't want to stop volunteering and she wanted to learn more about being a corporate meeting planner. This was the major she intended to decide on. When she was back home, she decided to volunteer at a local chapter called Meeting Professional International. This helped her build a network of key industry contacts that was beneficial to her job. This is where you can start to explore career opportunities. People will tell you that volunteering has no point or that it's just not worth it. But according to April Green, Director of HR in San Francisco, she explains the 5 ways volunteering can help you advance in your career. She said that if you have a good experience volunteering, that the supervisors may serve as a reference when you're applying to jobs. She said that volunteering will help develop job skills as well as ones you're currently using. She said, for example, if you're into corporate promotions, you could use your marketing skills to help organize and get the word out. It also gives you different organizations, roles, and issues without going from job to job. If you know your major, that's great, but volunteering can help you find a side of a career that you never knew existed. Quote, "By turning your values into actions, you will demonstrate to your employer that you are committed to and educated about their issue of concern." Green added this by saying you can build a track record. One of her last points was that volunteering can help make your resume stand out. She hinted that people looking for employers that work with nonprofit organizations, their resume tends to stand out to others. When I declared my major in social work and gerontology, I had to turn in a resume, and the one requirement for the resume was volunteer experience, so it'll help you out in the long run. Just as Green explained how expanded career networks, it'll help you choose a career. You never know if you're going to like a certain work style or how you will interact with certain people. Being freshmen in college, we may not know what we're going into, and this helps you find different occupations and industry sectors. It lets you know the challenges and helps you expand your knowledge of the roles available, according to Alberta Education. Moore said that the rate of college students willing to volunteer is declining, but they prefer to volunteer with their friends or anything that is an interest of them. This is where you can start to find different types of volunteer work. If you are ever interested in working in a hospital or any type of that setting, you can volunteer at a nursing home, a hospice setting, or even a drug rehabilitation center. And things you can do there to volunteer would include doing activities or even simply giving lunch to patients. And if there are future teachers in here, good volunteering programs would be helping tutoring or working at daycares and helping at camps. Sometimes you don't realize that you're volunteering because when I was in high school, I was in FFA, and what we did was we would help with local trash pickups and cleaning our park and arboretum, and we did this during our class period, so I never really put this into perspective that it was volunteering until CNCS put this under an environmental oriented organization. There are many types of opportunities that work with a major focus. If you're majoring in anything related to music, art, or history, museums, libraries, or festivals would be a great place to volunteer. Some people are more into health and fitness, and there are many places you can help volunteer. You can volunteer as a gym or maybe even as a coach. And my sophomore and junior year of high school, my older sister and I volunteered to help coach my little sister's basketball team. And teaching 4th graders and 5th graders how to dribble and shoot a basketball is quite challenging. But the look on their faces when they were playing the game was absolutely amazing, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. And there are more of the things you hear about is like the youth groups and mission trips that's religiously affiliated, and those can work great too. Also, little things like sending thank you letters and care packages to deployed veterans or deployed troops and veterans is considered volunteering. And imagine their faces when they receive something from home, and you can imagine how their face will just light up. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. This was quoted by Gandhi. Faye and Ganthello said that volunteering gives you a sense of purpose. It helps your community, and it takes the focus away from yourself by helping making a difference in others. Volunteering does help you out in the long run, whether it helps you establish a career or make new friends. And if you ever volunteered, you could probably relate to some of these experiences. Elizabeth Andrews said, people don't necessarily have the time to volunteer, they just have to have the heart. And I think this is a huge thing when volunteering because not everyone is willing to go out of their way to help someone in need. And I know you can't just change something just like that, but you can always make the biggest, littlest